I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe?
Fresh off the masses, the brand new cancerous growth, who has come here to vie for your vote. Come here to cry at the camps and to mourn at the shore for the bodies that float by the wreck of an immigrant boat. Then it's back to their luxury home, couple security booths and a moat. Couple cigars, little escargot, little booze and a soak. Just breathe in the steam and the smoke. Pink salt, lavender, candles are low. Shit, when you do what you do, gotta lighten the load. And he got a life of his own that's a sight to behold. And it's a lot to control, to decipher the code or to siphon the soul. The cost of a good night's sleep for the working elite is a bargain, no matter the toll. Worth any wager, and that comes straight from the mouth of the means to the goal that will swallow us whole. Ripe for the picking if you don't mind mold, and you know I don't. Maybe we're pleasantly prone, maybe we're taking a licking, compliantly ticking and ticking and ticking, but never explode. No, I don't deliver the prettiest image, but damn if it isn't an accurate vision of natural fission, of rage at the system and abject heartbreak, patiently waiting for any who'll listen. That little blue bird who was watching your words is a federal carrier pigeon, a Langley first. It's a patient observer who hears what it wants and is trained for the worst. Oh, you got nothing to hide. They'll be the ones to decide that after they root through your purse, after they read all your text, after they raid your apartment, confiscate all of its contents, then conjure up evidence out of the air on a wing and a prayer and malicious intelligence nonsense. Any presumption of innocence long since gone, right along with your comforts and constants. Historically first they will come for the communists. So why in the fuck would I say I'm a communist? Well, it might be I love my community more than the monsters of opulence who are holding us hostage, who are vomiting promises. Might be I'm all done seeing our pensions and benefits harvested. Might be I'm all done watching the populace being disarmed in the guise of an armistice. Watching a woman collapse on the floor who will rise no more. She is wheeled out the door and you're next in line for the pharmacist. If you can get me to vote, it's a hard no confidence. But part of the charm of deception is politics wearing the mask of incompetence. It's all in the art of austerity, darling. It's all in the slide of the providence. Until home is as wide as your cubicle height and is only as deep as your coffin is. Maybe I'm miles away from impatience, aching to break off the head of the snake where the capital lust, reptile brain, and the margin of profit is. Like off with his. Like off with his.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you was safe.
Our society and our world are full of these invented and built up and contrived facades. And sometimes some people come along with a hammer and smash that facade. It's a brilliant, powerful hammer. It's a brilliant, powerful hammer to smash that facade. It's a brilliant, powerful hammer to smash that facade.
Welcome to the future. Shit where you please. The Wi-Fi's killer, but there's no more bees. So there's hardly any flowers, there are very few trees, and you'll pay $1,000 for some honey for your tea. But we got these awesome collars, mine's an Apple Model 3. It allows for better movement than the Tesla X Elite. It lets you customize the ads that it implants in every dream. And for premium subscribers, doesn't shock you in your sleep. But it doesn't stop there. It can analyze your speech, and if it hears disinformation, then it notifies police. It's a swift re-education, but it knocks you off your feet like your booster every 7th week. I faced the future boldly with 2 eager open eyes, and I picked a couple nuggets up that blew my fucking mind. Like you can taxidermy someone while they're technically alive, and they'll shine when it's election time. See, the Democratic voter base will pay them zero. Never mind if voting for the scarecrow is a vote along their party lines. They could stare into its marble eyes and claim there's something dignified. Unlike real politicians, this one doesn't need an oxygen or kit supply. But its function is the same as those who came before. The goals are never misaligned. It still spends all its working time performing pre-recorded fleecing sessions where it sugarcoats your slow and hungry genocide, while pouring billions into Nazi coffers, all the while selling you the story that we're moments till the MiGs arrive. So fuck it, ask Zelensky if he'll help replace our leaded pipes. Watch a fleet of Penske's show stacks of bills in every size. Guess it only took a black sun and a couple Hiles. Honorary goose step and some Nazi boots a quarter mile, all while Biden sneers his sordid smile. I don't know what was in this morning's vial, but it makes him stare 1,000 yards through all the prompters and the cards like he can smell the nearest child. His eyes are wide and wild, wider than the grave in which another 1,000 families were tossed in as I typed until they rose up to the sky unceremoniously piled. Which sort of flies right in the face of all this network ticker tape where the American economy has superhuman vitals.
And sometimes some people come along with a hammer.
See, I like to think my trial's gonna play like a recital. I'll denounce the world around me and accuse the most entitled, who weaponize their titles, whose pull is something title, who'd starve us all to death to best delight their blighted idol. So they might destroy the record, and I will never get to vinyl. So my word is not immortal, but it's final.
It's a brilliant, powerful hammer. It's a brilliant, powerful hammer to smash that facade.
Who are these people?
People need social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Refusal to demonetize and deplatform YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Rockfin, Substack, Facebook, Telegram, Platform Whack-A-Mole, Amazon, Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio. A platform is only comprised by the creators who choose to publish to it. Guys, who are these people? Hi, everybody. It's Indy. Welcome. Okay. Indy's Tech Tips. We're here. We're finally doing the damn thing. Hopefully you heard that intro. I didn't. It didn't come through to my headphones, so it looked like it had sound to it that went out, but I didn't hear it. Sorry. That's one of the tech challenges that we deal with sometimes with live streaming. Yeah, this is Indy's Tech Tips. This is a new show I've been wanting to do for a while. It's first time I'm doing it live in a long, long time. I did a series on Rumble. I recorded some short videos, the whole idea. Good. Thank you, Angel. Glad you heard it. Handsome Cynic. So I did a show like this where I pre-recorded some tech stuff and how-tos and why do this instead of that or whatever. But I haven't really done a live stream where I've talked to people about the tools and kind of showed a little bit behind the scenes of what it takes to build a media organization from scratch, which is what we did at INN. So I wanted to answer questions for anyone in the audience that had questions about anything really that I've been using. And, you know, again, we've got a dozen different online tools, from Canva to Restream, and these are like the behind the scenes layer that we use to create and actually make the things that go out to the platforms that everybody's watching us on. Can I drop some stuff on Substack streaming? Her friend kind of sucks. Or, yeah, your friend's show sucks at it. Well, it's a skill. And welcome to those over on Substack at indiemediatoday.com now that are on live. You know, RTMP is the first thing, and I think that they will have it turned on for everyone. They did a big upgrade today, literally. So things are a little bit different, the way to set up a Substack live stream. But I think that now they're going to allow you to invite people who are using Zoom and StreamYard and other things to collaborate with you a whole lot easier than it has been. Basically, you have to use a setup like I've been using with OBS, and then figure out how to get your cameras and your audio and everything aligned and out to a live stream. That's one of the things that we do. But I mean, look, in order to make a live stream, I start with a document. And that document is housed in the cloud and it's able to be shared. It's got active links and it's a living document. From the minute I decide I want to start doing a show, I start putting a document together, and that will end up containing the title and the description and relevant links to the network, all of the links to that specific live stream, any keys that need to come out from Restream or Substack or anything else. All of those things end up in this document, and I make one for each show, you know, a different document for each show. I try to. And so that's the first thing that I do. I'll even show you the document for this show tonight. Hang on, let me open up my Proton documents, because that's one of the things that I use. Is I like to, you know, I've been using Google for a while, but Proton had a deal where if you sign up for a year and they'll give you their cloud space, but their cloud space now also includes a documents thing. So you can like make secure documents that are shareable. I have a different folder for every show that I do. So for the Tech Tips show, here is the document for today's AMA. Just so everybody kind of sees what the behind the scenes process, I figured I would start there. That when I decided to do this show, I had to build it from scratch. I had a logo for Indy's Tech Tips, but I didn't have anything set up in OBS to live stream for it. I didn't have this document, which was literally created in the last day. So these are all the places where we're live right now. And this Substack link is not even actually correct at the moment. I need to fix it because we got a different URL because of the way Substack worked this week. All right, so that's where our Substack is. So I start, there's my title, and I can refine and adjust and move this over time. And I write out a description. Okay, and when I write that description, I then, yes, I use AI for this. Once I've handwritten something, I then run it through AI and say, can you make this any better? Right? So, yeah. Then we have our little spiel about supporting the network and value for value system, which is what we do here. And check this out. I even set up a brand new support page that has me on it for the first time ever. It's always kind of shown the people, but I disappear from there. And now this time I created a brand new scene from scratch with that nice background that I found online because I wanted to do something cool. And I haven't set up a new thing in years, it feels like, or at least a year. So I then have a little bit of this is still all part of the description. And then if I make any tweets about it, I link the tweets here as well. Here's the key that would have gone into OBS. So you get an idea of what ends up in this document. So I start writing that up. And if am going to include any links or any articles, that's where I would start linking those as well. And that way, if I need to share it, I can collaborate with anybody. And by clicking this button right there, this is able to be shared in the cloud. Again, I'm just winging this right now. I really had not fully planned about, what to do. Again, similarly, Angel does 2 shows on INN every week. For those who don't know, he does Angel in the Afternoon on Fridays at 7 and Pro Wrestling Talk with Miss Witchy Perfect at 8 o'clock on Saturday nights. But what he says is that what's funny is that I don't have a script. I wing it every week, and I think it works out pretty well. It does work out really well. You look like you are scripted and like you have a plan of what you want to say, at least, and some articles that you want to cover, and maybe some things that you have saved. What I actually do before I even do this document is that I have a Discord server that's private to me. I built one, I made a server, and I have a few channels in it, and no one else has access to it. And it's like a personal note server. And I can add things to that personal note server and come back to it at any point. And I have an entire channel of potential articles for the show. So I'm constantly, as I'm moving around my day and throughout the internet, I am trying to gather. When I see something, I'll grab it and I'll just kind of stick it in that folder. And then at the end of the week or on Monday, when I start curating what I want to do for Tuesday's show, the articles and the news, I'll go to that folder. Next Thursday, Snow Himbo and I will be doing Nobody Wants to Work Anymore. And I've already got a document working and some articles in that folder ready. And again, it's all, to me, it's preparation. I find that the more prepared I am, the better a show I do. I try also to make sure to be respectful of people's time and keep it within a certain budgeted amount. And I found that for me, anywhere between an hour to 2 hours and 2:30 works well. Going beyond that, I struggle, honestly. So I pack a whole lot of information in, and then it's about clipping and making sure that you're repurposing and multi-purposing that content that you're creating. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of leave a lot on the table. You talk about, there's a lot of people that do live streams and never clip a segment and never make a short and never do much to try to bring people in to potentially watch the rest of the live stream. It's why I'm such a big fan, actually, of the Independent Review and what Ryan Graham has been doing for the last 2+ years, where he will edit and collate a group of independent video clips from creators that he likes and watches on a weekly basis, and he'll put them together into a 2.5, 3 hour, 4 hour show and upload it to his channel. And then it live streams every Friday and debuts on AM Wake Up, which this network co-streams. So check out AM Wake Up. It's actually going to be on tomorrow morning. And usually there's an INN clip, either that's from INN News or from IndieNews Now Live. That's the new show that we just started earlier last month. And that's basically How Did We Miss That evolved, right? So I start with a document. Then I will jump into Canva and I will make like a thumbnail for that document. So this is Canva. For those who have never used Canva, it is a really cool program. Canva, it's graphic design, but it's graphic design for dummies. I don't have a degree in graphic design whatsoever. But I've been able to design and create a ton of different stuff using this tool, using templates that they provide and then modifying them. Or you can start with a blank slate with the exact size that you want to start with and format it exactly how you want. And actually, there's a free version of this, which is really cool. Everyone at INN has access to a paid version of Canva, which also includes access to a massive library of stock photos and apps, and even then there's an AI thing that literally made a website for me and things. It's wild. And this is, again, used across the network by every member. I have my own personal login, and the network, everyone else has their own. But yeah, there's Angel giving his endorsement. Canva's the greatest thing I've used. If it wasn't for Canva, I wouldn't be able to make the thumbnails. Yeah, and your thumbnails look great lately also. And Himbo uses Pixlr. So this is another thing, is that I want to share what everybody's using for different things. So that this becomes more of a collaborative discussion about how we get the most out of it, what tools are working best for you for this, and everyone has different needs. So different tools work well for different people for different needs and different types of shows. It's great. I was talking with somebody on Substack earlier today because of this whole new interface that they released. They actually put an article out about how you can now live stream from your desktop directly. You know what? That's a good article to bring up right now. Let's go to Substack.com. And that will take me to my home. Okay. And look at that. Right at the top, there's our live stream. So that's really cool. But on top of that, I would go to my subscriptions. That's my inbox of everything that I'm subscribed to. Substack is not just a social media tool, but also a tool that delivers articles, which are also email newsletters. So you can have this delivered to your email inbox, or you can have this just delivered via app, or not delivered at all and only visit when you want and look at your own pace. This is what the article I was talking about. They also have their own reader built in. They have the ability to listen to it and have it dictated to you with their own AI narrative, which is pretty decent. All right. You can save this and bookmark it, archive it so that you always have access to it. Shout out to Zach at Substack, who wrote this article. He's product manager there. He has been working with the live streaming. And so whenever he does testing, I'll try to jump into his chat and say hello and ask a question here or there, or at least give a positive note Shelly Olmstead, welcome to the stream. Canva's awesome. You can make videos in there too. Actually, I've made several videos. I made the intro for this show was actually produced. An original part of it was produced in Canva, and then part of it was produced in DaVinci Resolve, which is another tool if people want to take a look at. We can jump into tonight. I figured I'd do that at another show. The plan is to do this show about once a month. Thursday nights, we're going to do a rotation of shows between one-on-ones and Nobody Wants to Work Anymore, American Tradition with Jesse Jett, and this show. So we're going to be able to try to squeeze it all in wherever we can. Shelly uses CapCut, way cheaper than Premiere, agreed. DaVinci Resolve is totally free. I don't know about their mobile thing, but I understand that is very similar to Premiere as well. It's by a company called Black Magic. Oz the Boomer got me into that. Shout out to Oz. We did a tech show, I don't know, God, it's got to be 2 years ago. Reef and I with the Roar Media fam, with Oz and Shanda and Linda. And it was similar to this, where we just kind of talked about some of the challenges that we deal with. Even what we have to deal with within YouTube Studio and back-end tools in order to produce and upload and make them happen within the channel so that you see them. There's a lot of things that if you're not a creator, you don't really know about. And that's why I'm here, is to kind of, again, peel that curtain back and show you. So what they're talking about, again, is that Substack is building video infrastructure so creators don't need to be editors or videographers, right? Our job is to create. The rest should feel effortless. So what are they doing? We're taking another step toward that vision with desktop live video and enhanced clips. So I don't know what enhanced clips are, but we're going to find out. All right, whether you're interviewing a peer, telling a personal story, or responding to breaking news, Substack now makes it easier to capture the moments that matter and share them far beyond your publication, which is really cool. So they've had this mobile app where basically you've had to use their app. It's been a walled garden in order to go online, or you got access to their beta testing like I did, and you could live stream through your desktop directly to a publication. But what's happening now is that they're actually providing you with an interface that plugs into your camera and your microphone and your speakers, and will allow you to stream out from your desktop. So, like they say here, if you've gone live already from the Substack app before, desktop streaming is going to feel familiar. Most people haven't done that. You can start a live video the same way you start any post, by clicking create, and now you'll see a live video option at the bottom, right? Again, I've seen this for a while, which is really cool. Add a title, choose who you're broadcasting to, and enter a preview room where you now can check on your setup and talk with any co-hosts before going live. I wish they had showed a screen of that. You can also go live on desktop if your co-hosts are on mobile. Scheduling live streams on desktop is coming soon, which is interesting because they had scheduling live streams on desktop. I've been doing it for 6 months, but now it seems to have gone away. Because tonight, I tried to make a live stream early at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for the 10 o'clock show. That would email out my entire database and let everyone know, hey, there's going to be a stream at 10 o'clock. But it would normally give me a key right afterwards that would plug into my Restream software so I can connect the two. Well, it's not showing me the screen that allowed me to see that. But what I realized also is if I say I'm ready to go live right now, it will show me the key, which is what I did. I just had to wait until I was ready to go live and then set the thing up, which just took maybe a minute or two. Not bad at all. Yeah, Angel says he's got to use Substack more to promote Angel in the afternoon. It just confuses you, or you're not paying attention. No, it is a confusing platform, and it's something that I want to help people get more comfortable with, actually, while we're here. It's one of the reasons why I'm doing this show, is to have more of an open kind of tutorial, because I've begged people to come hang out with me in Discord or wherever and ask questions, but I Nobody seems to want to do that. So let's do it here. Shit. We'll do it live. Well, yeah, we'll do it live. All right. Well, I even added to my soundboard for this. So I got this. There you go, Angel. There's a little Ric Flair for you. Okay. So yes, I have a Stream Deck connected to my OBS and to my computer. And a Stream Deck is like a big device that has a bunch of buttons that you can program to do anything you want. Really cool. And I have a lot of fun with that. It also helps me run this show and change scenes in OBS. I can set macros for text that I type every day. So by hitting that one button, it automatically types it. Really cool. But I want to get back to this article about making clips, because not only are they going to be adding back scheduling live streams, so just set it up when you're ready to go live, and it's easy, and you'll be able to get out to your audience. The only thing is it won't email them. It'll only notify them through the app when you go live. Clips are a growth engine. And again, I make clips. Substack makes clips for you automatically when you finish your live stream. And it's sitting, and they're going to show you where. But I also use their transcript to make my own clips of up to 5 minutes long based upon a keyword. You know, I had an interview the other day with Ryan Christian at the Last American Vagabond. We did an INN one-on-one. And I remember he was talking about Prospera, which is this corporate entity that is suing the government of Honduras right now. They're trying to set up 15-minute cities or freedom cities or whatever you want to call it, billionaire run, where they get to set the laws of that location. And Ryan did a killer clip, and they actually caption it for you. So even if you don't have the software to caption it, they give you a couple of different options on your captions, and you have the option of whether you want to make it vertical or 16:9 horizontal. Really cool. So clips are becoming a meaningful part of how creators share their work and reach new subscribers, because not everyone sits and wants to watch a live stream. They only want to watch a couple of minutes that teases them into it. And, oh, I want to see more of that. That's what brings them in. As more creators experiment with them, we're seeing clear signs of momentum. Here's what the data shows. That nearly 50% of all live stream hosts now share or download a clip on the same day that they go live, taking advantage of clips as a strategic promotional tool. That's really cool. Since clips rolled out earlier this year, they have directly generated nearly 500,000 free subscriptions across the Substack ecosystem. They track everything in a lot of ways. Quite a few things they really don't track, because you can cut off their tracking tags and then they have no idea where it came from. It just says either direct or via Substack app, but they don't know how. But also that their generated clips on external platforms now get more than 500,000 views every day, thanks to auto-publishing integrations with YouTube and LinkedIn. I do not take advantage of those. I'm not a believer of sending information from one platform to another because it's never formatted properly. I have not really experimented with this, but my guess is that it doesn't look right on YouTube. For example, links may not look right. Things that are tagged on Substack may not translate properly over to YouTube, and you may want to format it differently. But there's an easy way to connect YouTube or LinkedIn to your Substack publication so that when you put up a video or you put up a post, it sends stuff right over there. Jeremy, good to see you, brother. Welcome to the stream. All right, I'm just going through this article today that Substack had put out about how they're making improvements to live streaming, but I thought it was actually a step backwards when it came to scheduling live streams. It happens. They're going to fix it, I'm sure, within a couple of days or a week or whatever it is. And right now, we'll just have to plug it in right when we're ready to go live, and that's fine. All right, dynamic editing highlights the active speaker, trims the dead air, and adds subtle zooms to make conversations feel sharper. I haven't seen that yet, but that's really cool. clean title cards, giving every clip a polished opening that captures attention across platforms. Haven't seen these either. These are brand new. Instant availability means ready to share clips appear the moment that your live stream ends. Again, they're using AI to do that and to pull out clips, but you can make your own. One-tap sharing and downloads make it easy and simple to post clips to Substack, to Instagram and TikTok across other platforms. Right. So how they're using clips to grow. So they give you a couple of examples here. Right. So this was from a Substack Live. And here's another one. These are people making vertical videos. Brooke Baldwin shared an emotional reflection. I'm sure it was wonderful. Okay. So I actually have been making some of these. And they said, tag at Substack team, and your clip could be featured this month on our notes account. Well, that would be cool, right? So I'm going to show you. This was, where's the note that I put out? Here it is. So this is a 1-minute clip that I made, a 44-second clip that I highlighted the text. I have not put this out anywhere. Redefining success, other than here, redefining success for content creators. So let's hear this.
I did a show a while ago that was talked about redefining how we view success. I don't think if we keep hitching our wagon or whatever the term would be to, like, you know, if we keep using their metrics, we're going to give up. Like most people will, I would say, because you feel like you're failing, right? So we have to stand back and look, like, what does it mean to succeed in this? And I think you're succeeding. I think what you're doing is reaching people. You're doing it for the right reasons. And I bet you reach a ton more people than you even realize. And that's just, I think of mine the same way, you know? And it's like, and that alone, I like, if I ended today, I would walk away thinking, you know, I changed people's lives. I reached people. I affected what they thought. You know, I gave them the tools to think for themselves. That's a win to me, you know? But it's hard though, isn't it?
It is hard. It's a grind. And then they tag it at the end and they give you a little button to subscribe. You know, it's not clickable, but it's at least encouraging people to do that. And again, that was completely automated. I didn't have to do anything to do that except for highlight the text and tell it whether I wanted to make it vertical or horizontal. I wanted it horizontal. Do I want captions for social media or traditional, which is just with a background highlighted gray? And then, what's the third thing? There's one other selector that you can choose. You can also say, I don't want captions. And then you just hit download, and you can either share it to notes directly or download it as an MP4 and then share it everywhere across your social media. And that's the idea, is that you're using this to get people to want to see more and come to your live stream.
I did a show a while ago that was talking.
Right. So that's Ryan. This is over at Substack Notes. And this is what makes Substack confusing, because they are like 8 things in one. All right. They are a publishing platform, first and foremost. It's where people have been writing articles for 8 years now. They started in 2017 as a straight publishing platform. Descent in Bloom, who's also in chat, also publishes and writes articles here, but she also has uploaded videos. Writing articles and publishing articles, not to this, this is the reader, but she also has her own publication where all of her articles are found. So it is an article reader and a place to subscribe to Substack publications and read them all in one central place. It's also a place to view what's like a website for each of those creators with all of their content. So you have to maintain that site. But within that site, you can also publish a podcast. And that podcast can be video, and it can go out via audio to Apple and Spotify and everywhere else. It also is a video host. Before it was a podcast, I was uploading the videos from How Do We Miss That? The clips, and it was hosted here. That's a podcast in itself. There's a lot of different applications so they've spread themselves out because they also wanted to compete with Twitter. So not only is it a publishing platform where you read articles, but in 23, they introduced a new element called Notes. Now, Notes is a lot like Twitter. It has a news feed that's a lot more customizable. See, it also has For You like Twitter does and following. You can choose which one you want, and it keeps you there, unlike Twitter, which keeps kicking you back to the For You. When you say following, it literally is only from people that you follow and from things that they share. So it's a lot more strict of an algorithm that you can see only what you want to see. From here, you can create a new note where you can then publish something that goes out to the world like a tweet. But unlike a tweet, you can attach a video. I think if it's up to 5 minutes long, any photo or gallery of photos up to 5 photos. And there is like a 5,000 character limit where you also can do bullets. Once I highlight something, bullets, and format your text a whole lot better. So I prefer to write stuff out in Notes because it allows me to kind of get more of a thought out and organized than 280 characters because I refuse to pay Elon Musk for a blue check. And I'll start here and then copy and paste things over to Facebook or YouTube or wherever. But I'll usually start by constructing something in Notes. If it's shorter, I'll start by writing it in Twitter. So Notes also makes it more confusing, but it also opens you up to meeting so many more people because the more people you follow, the more things they share, you're introduced to different writers and publishers that you would never otherwise be introduced to. Like this guy, Klaus. This guy, Klaus, does a whole series about Substack publishing and specifically monetization and different strategies to monetize your publication. I'm not a big fan of monetization, but if you're going to do it, talk to somebody that understands. For example, he's a big believer in not using PayPal because they take X amount, and in finding ways to avoid getting feed to death. Because when you do this, a lot of these online payment processing companies take fees in order to process your payments. The question is, how big a fee? And when you're only getting $1, if they're taking 10 or 15 cents, it ends up adding up to quite a bit of your money over time and how it's distributed, etc. I see Shelly Olmstead in the chat. Here's an artist collective. I follow them. So you're really only seeing stuff. Ethan Faulkner shares a lot of stuff. I follow Ethan. So you're only seeing stuff by people that you follow, which I really do appreciate. There's Indie Media Award honoree, Decensor News. Where's my Indie Media? There it is. All right. I also built a website on Substack for the Indie Media Awards. And that's a dedicated page to each creator. I can actually do a lot more with it. I just kind of left it up. It's a static thing with all their links to showcase who they are. But we can do a lot with Substack Notes in order to grow. So on Notes, people can follow you or subscribe. So when I see Gloria, I get the option to follow her, which means that she doesn't see who I am, and I don't receive emails of her newsletter, and I don't see her newsletter in my subscriptions inbox. Or I can subscribe to her, which then puts me into her newsletter, which then either comes into my email inbox or is delivered directly here. And then it's, that's where I'm a free subscriber and I can get invites to paid subscriptions, live streams, etc. Otherwise, I only see her in my feed of who I'm following. I don't get alerted when she goes live. I don't believe. I only think that that's people that you subscribe to. And they're constantly making adjustments and changes and updates and tweaks to this. Even a couple of weeks ago, they changed the way these icons look. And a lot of this used to be top navigation, and now they moved it to the left side. So there was a I think if I make it smaller, there's something along the side where they're trying to push bestsellers. This is the new thing also, that's if you can get into this bestseller thing somehow, and somebody in this chat already has made it into there at some point. Speaking of who that is, bye, good night, Descent in Bloom. She's been on here in the past, and she's been doing phenomenal on Substack, and Notes is a massive growth engine for her Substack. So at some point, maybe I'll even have her on to join me, and we can talk if she feels like talking about what she does here and how she does this from a technical side, what her thought process is. So this is a way they created this ranking system in order to be able to promote and push bestsellers by category. So this is a new way to also discover new creators and new publications. Of course, a lot of them are corporate-driven, mainstream, or CIA connected, possibly, knock on wood, maybe not. And Apple Malv, I think, pretty much is. Hey, there's Descent in Bloom right now. Number 29 ranked in all bestsellers rising in world politics. And they have both rising and top bestsellers. The top bestsellers is literally who's getting the most every month out of their publication, and they categorize this. So there's a real opportunity for people, if you are a consistent, good publisher, to make it to these lists. You see, there's Matt Taibbi, that's in U.S. politics. So U.S. politics and world politics are separate. This is infuriating that the Free Press is the #1 top bestseller in U.S. politics. This, by the way, is why Paramount paid $150 million for them. All right. And if you switch to Rising, same thing. I don't know how they're doing it, how they stay on top of that list consistently and keep growing and adding more people every month and every month and every month. All right. Matthew Iglesias, a lot of shit libs, honestly, coming from a pure lefty perspective. Rick Wilson, another shit lib. Paul Krugman, economist. You've got a lot of liberals here. Thankfully, Jim Hightower's up there. I'm a big fan of Jim's. He's retired and still doing really well as an independent journalist. This is allowing some people to literally go truly independent. I think a lot of them are still connected to corporate media and are using this to springboard them back into a full-time gig. Charlie Sykes is a conservative. So you have some conservatives that are even moving on here. You also have people like ops like JoJo from Jers. There you've got Ken Klippenstein. And this is just the top paid in what they consider to be rising U.S. politics. At one point, I think they had even put me into, there was one just called News. Yep, there's one for News. So I was in News like on day one that they made these, and I very quickly fell off. You know, you've got people like Jim Acosta, CNN, Katie Couric, and a lot of these people, okay, and, the credit to Reef for clipping this.
Coming to a Substack newsletter near you.
We were way ahead of this curve, okay? We were here long before SE Cup ever decided to do something, but look at how these people are knocking it out. I like this guy, the Inner City Press, Matthew Russell Lee. He is a court reporter who covers trials on a day-to-day basis. So if you want updates, like when Luigi Mangione's going to have a trial, he will be there and covering it daily. So I like finding people like this. I think I actually found him on Twitter, but he has now since moved here. And a lot of people have, because this gives you a lot more freedom and flexibility as far as publishing and the ability to make a lot more money for yourself. Because when you monetize, Substack takes 10% and Stripe takes a small percentage as well. But that means that almost 90% of the money that you get every month is coming back into your pocket. And I don't know, and that's again from subscribers. One limitation that people have asked for is they want people to be able to tip a one-time tip rather than it being a monthly subscription ongoing. What a lot of people have actually done is subscribed, paid for a month and then canceled right away in order to get, you know, just the same effect of leaving a tip of $5 or $7 or $10 or whatever it is. And notice that if I'm already subscribed to them, it puts a little check mark, but it makes it really easy to subscribe and to expand my base. Mike Flynn, again, like I said, ops, CIA, they're crawling all over this place. Remember that Mark Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z, is one of the major principal funders of this platform. It's VC funded. Also, Y Combinator out of Silicon Valley are other ones. But the number one guy, Aaron Parnas, also his father, Lev Parnas, was famously part of the whole Russiagate scandal. Lev Parnas also has a big Substack. They've made a pretty decent name for themselves in the liberal world. Oh, thank you, man. Really appreciate that. Good to see you, Jeremy. Yeah, hopefully you'll be back. Yes, that's what Shelly needs to do, but she's got writer's block. Yep. And again, it's not just about writing. You don't have to write. You can just upload clips and build your audience by sharing smaller snippets of your live stream. Sabby Sabs has done that in a phenomenal way, and to give her credit. So if I go to sabbysabs.substack.com, now she doesn't live stream here. She doesn't write articles. She's got thousands of subscribers, and what she does is she puts out a live stream alert and literally just embeds the video. That's it. That's her videos. Whenever she does clips, here are the clips from today. All right? That's it. She just embeds her clips and sends it out. And she puts this out consistently. And this way, she has a way to make sure that everyone who subscribes, this gets into their inbox every day. The biggest thing, and I did a video about this 3 years ago or 2 years ago and it's on Rumble now, about 4 reasons why you should be on Substack as a video creator, which is that you are able to reach 100% of your subscribers. And what I mean by that is that right now, when you're in an algorithm, and here's the homepage for Rumble, but what I want to show you is the Indies Tech Tips page. Right? There's an entire page dedicated to Indies Tech Tips. There aren't very many followers, but I had put up some videos a couple of years ago, monetization strategies. I actually made a post and wrote an article very quickly and published it. 6.5 minutes. You watched me publish something. But the biggest thing here is a big tip for live streamers using Substack, again, is because it generates clips, but mostly that you build a list that you can take with you of who's actually subscribing. And they give you a lot of data and intelligence about what they're opening and what they're engaging with, and if they're not opening and not engaging. But 100%, reaching 100% of the people. Algorithms, like your YouTube subscribers, your Facebook fans, only a very small percentage of your fans and followers and subscribers ever actually see your posts. But when you're on Substack and when you email them, if they check their inbox, you're guaranteed that 100% of your emails are delivered to their inbox. So again, these were all a couple of years ago when Substack Notes launched. We did an in-depth on how did we miss that, and I put that up there. And then what I've learned 4 years on Substack, that was another how did we miss that segment. So whenever I did something that was tech related, I would put that up here. And then really important is what to do once you're done with a live stream on Substack. It doesn't automatically publish it to your publication. And I think that's where a lot of people also get tripped up. So what it does, it puts it back into draft status because you have the ability to turn that into a full-on blog post with links, with embedded videos and references, with connections to other Substacks. So what I did there was I actually showed in this 15 or so minute video, all right, just how I took a video after it had live streamed and then added a thumbnail to it and added tags in the back on the back end. That's something else that it does in the settings. But I added links and bullet points of who was in the video with links to find and follow them. Once it was done and I had published that, it then generated some clips from that show and gave me the ability to either share or download them or create my own clips. So all of that is in this video here on the Indies Tech Tips channel on Rumble right now. And I did this all, again, free, because I want other people to learn how to use this stuff. It's really so valuable if you can actually invest the time to learn how to use it. You can get a ton out of it. So that was Sabby's newsletter. Again, going back into Substack Notes, which again is like a Twitter type environment, you can, let me get back to here with the categories. Sorry, over here. So not only do you get into these categories, but you can actually look at a feed, at least on mobile. They show you a feed for these categories as well. Maybe no, okay. I guess they don't do that on desktop. But you can actually look at a feed of just finance that is a collection of creators that are in finance. Doomberg, I remember I was following them on Twitter. Totally exited Twitter 3 years ago and exploded their Substack. They actually had an article written about them by Substack because they had grown so quickly and so much. Michael Burry, by the way, is the guy who wrote The Big Short, they wrote The Big Short about. He's the one who predicted the crash of the housing market 2 years early, but still predicted the market and made a ton of money by shorting the market, by shorting these derivative companies that were at the time showing massive profits, and everybody thought he was crazy for shorting them. But that's thank you, Vicky. Good to see you. Wow, Vicky, thank you for sharing that video last night. The Kiriakou thing, that was really interesting. I actually clipped that out and put it on Twitter from INN. Just quoting him, look, whether I feel one way or another, this was not personal. That was news and information. I did not know that John Kiriakou had left Panquake. That was information. And the things that he said, I literally just quoted it, clipped that minute, and put that out. And I don't know if anybody's seen that, but yeah, go check that out. But I really, again, want to talk about the tools and the technology and what I use to actually produce and make a thumbnail. So in order to go live, I need three things. I need a document here. I need a description, a title, and I need a thumbnail. That's what needs to basically be entered into all of these different platforms in order to then plug in later on and have my live stream go out. Once I have those three things, I then go into Restream, and I'm going to show you what the back end of Restream looks like. And hey, look at that. We're actually live because this is the tool that I use to connect to all of my channels across all of the different platforms, right? Whether that's Substack or Kick or Rumble or YouTube or Twitter or BitChute. And luckily, with our account and the level of access that we have, because we're grandfathered in, because we've been a Restream user since 2020, we're able to connect to as many channels and platforms as we want, and we can go live to as many as 15 at any one point. So that's why you see us live right now to 9 places, 8 of which are being streamed out from here. Plus, we are able to self-host and embed a stream, which we embed at IndieNewsNow.com. But this is where you see everybody's channels kind of connected, and they can turn on any combination of these channels when they go live. Our account also gives us access to give 10 different users access to their own account and to log in themselves. And what they do is they then change their which team, or they get an individual account, and then they can join a team, which then gives them access to everything that the network is participating in. Because of our level of access, but even if you are a paid subscriber, whenever you go live, it automatically records and backs up your live stream so that you can then download that, edit it in a third-party editor. They also are trying to push you into making AI clips, but they want to charge you. So I don't use their AI clipping, especially because of what I just showed you of what Substack is capable of. And I'll go into a Substack video and I'll show you some of these suggested videos that they're putting in. But this is just, they usually hold on to them for 30 days. So this is 30 days worth of live streams for INN, where we co-stream AM Wake Up and INN News and boats smashing into other boats. And there's IndieNews Now Live. So all the live streams are housed here. I can very quickly and easily schedule one of those to be restreamed out. They have a limit of 2 hours, so you have to trim it down and create a couple things, but they also have the ability to stream out a playlist of videos that are 2 hours long each. So you can have, in theory, 24 hours a day of looped streaming nonstop, or at least close to it, using Restream. Pretty wild. You also get the ability to upload videos into a cloud storage, which you then can schedule any one of these to its own video to either go out to multiple channels or multiple videos as part of a playlist. So I could say, I want to basically rebuild my show with the 5 clips that I uploaded yesterday. So here is the first segment was Venezuela. The second segment was Honduras. The third was our Fuck Israel segment, Fuck Israel. The fourth segment was the lightning round. And the fifth segment was Giving Tuesday, talking about our GoFundMes. So I can really add these together, make this into a playlist, give it a title, schedule it, tell it which channels to go to, and that becomes a show. That's how we do some of our clip shows. That's how I originally had started doing Jesse Jet's clip show. But then I decided that I wanted to put bumpers in between each thing, and I wanted to have it loop at the end of it. And I ended up producing that clip show in another program because this didn't have the level of capability that I was looking for. But this is a real quick and easy way to playlist a bunch of things together and put together a live stream that didn't exist before and reach an audience that you weren't necessarily reaching. I, for example, want to put together a long just playlist of Fuck Israel segments. We do one every week, but there's really no collective of all of them together. So this would give me the ability to put 4 or 5 or 6 or 20 of them together into a playlist and have that stream out for a full day. Wild. Restream is an incredibly powerful tool. Like Substack. Versatile. Because you can push out a pre-recorded video as a live stream somewhere and then join live chat with your audience. Really cool. Thank you, Michael. Welcome. G'day, sir. And fuck Australia for all the laws that they're implementing right now on you and everybody else, the nanny state that's pushing toward digital ID. And I commend you for all the steps that you're taking to try to protect yourself and to move your audience to other platforms that don't censor and don't require digital ID. So thank you. CBC, thank you. Again, we're going to try to do this every month. So I'm glad you're going to come back to it. And again, I want to pull the curtain back. And I want this to be more of an open dialogue and discussion and not just end when we end live. I have a Discord for INN subscribers, and it's really for anyone who wants an invite. And I have some automated channels, and there's about 75 or 80 people in there right now. And I also link the live stream chat from YouTube and Twitch and Kick, and it even gets one way from Twitter, and that all comes into a Discord channel in this server. So you can actually engage and post right into the chat in this show and do it from this Discord channel and continue the discussion after we're live. And that was the whole point of mentioning Discord, is that one of the reasons why I wanted to create that server is that it gives the people a place to hang out once we're not live. Other people use Telegram groups like AM Wake Up. Steve's got 500 people in, or 600 people in his Telegram group. Really cool. Whitney Webb has a private Telegram group for paid subscribers that's very similar, you know, that it's an ongoing conversation. All right. You just sent me a message. Michael, how do I put these chats up from Substack? I use OBS and I use a tool called Social Streams. So Social Streams is one of my secret weapons that plugs into OBS, and I'll even show it to you here. This is it's a plugin that goes into Google Chrome or the Chromium browsers, and it allows you a lot of customization, and it lets you put a doc in your stream, right? And then highlight a specific chat and put a featured chat overlay, which is what I'm doing when I feature a chat, like saying that Michael Ginsburg joined my stream. That's a featured chat overlay. I also see the ongoing combined chat between all of my channels in a doc in my OBS software that allows me to then choose which ones I want to put up. I can also put that up live if I want to. I don't like to put chats scrolling on a stream. That's just a personal preference. And then within here, I actually subscribed. This was built by this plugin is for OBS as well. So it was built by a guy named Steve Seguin. I'll give him a shout out. He also created something called OBS Ninja, which is now called VDO.Ninja. And that allows you to bring in different cameras and have people plug in without a Zoom interface. I can literally send you a link and turn on your camera, your microphone, and I can plug you right into my OBS. So he supports a couple of different really powerful plugins that are free for OBS, which is OBS stands for Open Broadcast Software. It's open source, and everybody can build and design plugins, which then enhance what you're doing with the bare bones OBS software, which again is free and created by something called the Open Broadcast Project, I think. So Reef originally told me about OBS when we started doing live streaming, and we started looking into what the most powerful tool is to live stream and to create a customized stream. And that's just what we've used. Other tools are Restream, for example. And that was something else I wanted to show you in the back end, is that not only does Restream have the ability to plug into a OBS and RTMP and push out to those streams, but they also offer a full studio. So I can create a Restream studio, go into a studio environment and make a live stream with a background and turn on my camera and share video and do all these things. Now, Himbo has actually used Restream Studio to try to do gaming, and he has struggled with their speed and connectivity in handling running the game as well as doing the live stream for whatever reason. We've noticed that. God, there's so many things that go into, again, making one of these streams. So when I go to create a new stream, I do it again through OBS or Zoom or something like that. I'll then create this, and I can do this. Notice while I'm live, I can go and make a new one. All right. And I can tell it what title I want it to have. You're limited by whatever the platforms that you're using are limited to. So for YouTube, it's 100 characters on your title. For Twitch, it's 140 characters. For Odyssey, it's 200 characters. So you learn these nuances of what you can post and how it fits. And they give you a key that then you plug into your software, and that then connects to all of these different potential channels. And you tell it which channels you want it to go live with. That's my monetized YouTube channel. And there's my Twitch channel, so I don't necessarily want to go out to the network with this one. But I don't have a kick channel, so I'll kick it out to INN's channel. So I get to pick and choose which ones I want. And I can update, again, the title, description, and add the thumbnail. Like I said, I need 3 things to go live: a title, a description, and a thumbnail. There's also limitations on the descriptions. You can't put certain characters in a YouTube description. Rumble limits you to 1,000 characters maximum sent from Restream. So if you have a bigger description, it won't send your stuff over. And you learn all these things as you go. It's all kind of learn by design. So remember, I talked about doing playlists. Here's another way that you can do a playlist. I have scheduled out these clips to go out to Rumble, just to Rumble, to Twitch, and to Kick, starting at 4:30 in the afternoon or 12 noon on a certain day, and loop 10 times. It will keep playing the same thing over and over again once it's finished. So that'll end up being, instead of 13 minutes and 41 seconds, this video ends up being 134 minutes long. And the way that Rumble works, it pushes the channels that are live to the top. So that means that we're going to be live at the top that much longer. If somebody logs in, they look at their Rumble, they see that we're live, there's a better chance that they're going to click on it and watch for 15 minutes and then go, oh, you know what, this loop, this started over. Oh, I saw this part. And then they'll be done when they're done. But at least it keeps us up at the top, because otherwise, in order to find our channel, they've got to scroll all the way down. And here's the Ocho. By the way, if you don't know about the Ocho, this is where Pro Wrestling Talk goes and boats smashing into other boats goes. We created another channel that is for the lighter side, for the sports type of content and for the reaction entertainment content, to keep it separate from the news and information on INN. Give you the lighter side. All right. Tech Tips has its own channel. I also wanted to promote the IndieNews Now Clips channel. And this is that channel, like I showed you in Restream. These are the, these clips will end up being sent out to this channel as live streams, which will run for hours. And notice that each one of these live streams gets a decent number of views. 157 views, 83 views, but other ones have popped for hundreds or multiple hundreds of views. It looks like that effectiveness has dropped recently, but if I go back a couple of pages, oh, there's 757 views, 324 views. It was popping a little bit better. I don't know if maybe the view counts over at Rumble have been dropping or what's been going on. Okay, but that's the IndieNews Now Clips channel, which is just literally looped clips from the show that also used to be How Did We Miss That? Okay, other questions. Let me see what we got going over here. Socialstream.ninja, that's the one. Yes. That's the one. They even have a desktop app. That's right. And their support is incredible through Discord. The actual developer, the guy that built the plugin, responds to you if you have a technical question. And I worked with him and told him that I was looking to bring Substack chat in. And within a day, he had worked on it and said, oh yeah, download an update to the plugin and use it tomorrow and it should work. And when it didn't, I messaged him, immediately responded. It was great. Big believer in that guy and what he's building there. All right. Yeah, no, it's great stuff. I really, I appreciate being able to put
Who are these people?
Kick, for example, up there. Oh, very cool. That was our, oh, let me fix that. That's supposed to show, there you go, a new Ko-fi from Sean. So that was another plugin that we had that's supposed to show new. Thank you so much for the support, Sean. $10. Appreciate that, brother. Yep. All I do for a great community. Thank you. And I appreciate everyone that's a part of it, that shows up and that shares the stream and that tells other people about it. And, you know, again, we're not getting rich here and we're not getting a ton of views, but having the impact. And like Ryan had talked about, it's looking at the measurement on a one-to-one basis. Are we helping people? Are we affecting people's lives? Look at how much we helped Aspen, for example, raise towards her GoFundMe, or Shanda. Like, I know and that's why, again, I want to get more people confident, and we can all do this. Remember, everyone that's in this chat right now that doesn't live stream, I was in the chat watching live streams as much as you guys do. I just decided, you know what? I watch enough of these. I have the same opinions in a lot of ways, and I have enough opinions, and I have takes that I think are good enough that I'm no different than the people that are up there. And you just try it and just give it a shot. The tools are there. You can do it free. It's just a matter of being willing to jump in and try, finding some people that are willing to try with you and learn, or someone who's really well skilled and where you offset each other. Thankfully, I've got Reef. So Reef is great on some technical stuff. I'm better on the organizational stuff, and we complement each other. And I'm terrible when it comes to OBS and audio, but thankfully he's really good at that stuff. So I know a guy who's good at WordPress. I shout out to Josh for setting up the IndieNews Now website. So it's finding and connecting with people that have the skills and seeking them out and vetting them and testing them over time, asking people who you know, hey, who do you know that's good at computers and that you trust? And that's really how we have to grow this thing, is on a one-to-one basis. Oh, there you go. Shauna Cordlord. Well, if you got shit to say, look, let's talk about it, and we can support you in doing that. You've been such a great supporter of this network. I'd love to see what you've got. We have in mind. Again, Restream makes it really easy because we have a studio setup that we can jump into a studio setup and pre-record. We don't even need to necessarily go out to a platform. You can actually just record. I don't know why I'm not seeing that record button, probably because we're already live. But there's the ability to just record something without actually going out live to a platform. And that then records to our cloud storage. Nobody has to see it. So if you don't like it and you're embarrassed by it or whatever, nobody ever has to see it. But that way you can kind of practice, get your feet wet, get comfortable with using the tools, and then go live. Or you don't even have to go live. You can literally just upload it to a YouTube channel and publish it. That's the other thing, is that there's the ability to just publish and not go live. A lot of people do that. They never go live. I'm just a fan of the live stream format and environment and atmosphere and chat specifically. I got hooked on it during pandemic, and then I got into making my own. And, you know, I've always been a big believer of creating the media that you want to see. And that's what I started doing, because I can't even watch corporate media now. Like, I would rather sit and edit clips and put them out so that people have something else to watch rather than the slop that's going on out there for the most part, or even decent stuff. Stranger Things, a lot of people are talking about it. But again, these are corporate media shows that push narrative, that are distractors, that are keeping people away from learning what's actually happening out there. Again, real quick, I haven't really asked people, but Sean, thanks for reminding me that to support the media you want to see, that's our wall of fame. The ways to do that are Cash App, $ Indie News Network. We've got ko-fi.com/Indie News Network, paypal.me/Indie News Network as friends and family. We can go to IndieNewsNow.com, and there's a way to keep the media free there and to support with a tip or a monthly donation. And then again, we're live over at IndieMediaToday.com, over on Substack, and INN Newsletter is one that we publish for Indie News Network, which I am a co-founder of and a proud member of. So getting back to all of our tools, and I literally just showed you like a little bit of Canva, just the front page. I showed you the IndieNews Now website, the front page of that, and what that looks like. And right now it is aggregating news like it does all day long. And again, we are live there. If you go to the Watch Live section, it actually has an embed of this stream that came from Restream, and we embed that code into a fixed static page so that whenever we're live, you can see that live stream right here. All right. And then theoretically, the idea is to join the Discord so that you can then chat with your Discord app as well. Hopefully it takes about 10-15 seconds usually, and you'll see the stream here. And then here's all the streams from INN you see there as well, so you can catch up on old ones. There it is. Hi everybody who's live there, but nobody's watching there right now. There's also access to a merch store. This is where I was talking about keep the news free. We have built in the ability to tip us with Stripe, either Amazon Pay, credit card, Google Pay, Cash App, you name it. Any way to do that, we'll hook that up for you. And again, we're using WordPress to host this website, self-hosted WordPress. I'm using a company called Ionos right now, but my guy Josh is actually building a Lefty built cloud hosted server dedicated that I won't have to pay a company for that, hopefully going forward, or I'll pay him directly. And I'll know that it's secure and that it is not censorious and that it's not going to be, it's going to be at the highest level of security. So that's IndieNews Now. I just wanted to give a shout out to that website that you can always watch INN there. You can get free news there. There's also information about the network, about our shows, and about the people that are there. So there's a little bio about Angel Rivera and his link tree, and you can find that right there. Snow Himbo also is in chat. You can find him there. And some of the other members who you may or may not already know. Jesse Jett, American Tradition. We do that show together. But then here are some podcasts and some things. Yeah, we built out a whole website dedicated to the network. Very cool. But it also showcases all independent media, videos, articles, podcasts right here at IndieNewsNow.com. So check that out. And that's why I bring this all together. So we do the live streams to showcase and amplify the independent journalists. We have the website that showcases and amplifies and connects directly to independent journalists. All right, so here's that Dissent in Bloom article, which then links directly to her Substack. See how it all kind of connects? I'm trying to have things be more seamlessly connected and introduce people to more independent journalists, outlets, writers, and creators that they may not already know. I showed you my Proton drive. We talked a lot about Substack Notes tonight. We talked a little bit about Rumble. I also want to mention that Rumble has built a studio product, very similar and competing with Restream. Rumble allows you to live stream out directly using an interface that they created, which also connects to your channels on other platforms like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, etc. And you also can plug into their advertiser campaigns, okay, where you can do live reads, where if you get you have at least 10 people watching live on Rumble and you do their script for Chicago State Company and you follow their rules, you'll get paid 8 cents per live viewer per ad read. This is how some of the creators on Rumble are making money. This is traditionally how radio has always paid out as well. So it's interesting if you did want to monetize your streams and your audience was okay with you reading ads, this is one potential way. But you're not required to use their ads or to plug in their advertising into your live stream. Similarly, they also give you the ability to direct RTMP using OBS. They'll give you a key, which you then put into your software, and they act as the pass-through portal to all of your other channels, identically to the way that Restream does that for me now for a whole lot less money. I think you need to be a premium subscriber. It's $99 a year for Rumble Premium. And I think they're running a Black Friday special where it's $49 for the year if you ever wanted to consider streaming to Rumble. Via their studio, participating in their ads. We stream to Rumble. We're there live right now, actually, on IndieNews Network. All right, and we're doing that for free, not paying anything through Restream, which we are paying for. And according to this, we've got 6 people watching it live here right now. So if you're here, give it a thumbs up and say hi in chat and prove to me that you're not an alien person. I see Rulon was here very early. I got thirsty and chat's open. So, and there's the a little portal window in there. Questions? Anything else? Thank you, Sean. Really appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, I plan to do this every month to answer more questions and to share more of behind the scenes of what it is we're building. Can I use Substack as a draft holder? Absolutely. Yes, you absolutely can. And there's actually a setting, funny enough, inside your Substack publication once you build one, and you can create one for free. But there's a setting under alerts or notifications where you can even tell it, and I tell it, it's the one thing I have turned off, unfinished draft reminders. So not only can you create a draft and have it sit there, but you can have it annoy you to remind you to get back to it. Hilarious. I don't like that feature. I don't want to be reminded. I have, and I'll again, behind the scenes, share with you right now, I have several drafts sitting there. These are other clips from the Aspen stream that I had cut up. Here is an article I started working about debunking some of the Ukraine propaganda that's been out there. An article about our voting system. So like you're talking about, I've got some articles that I've already started to work on, or some thoughts that aren't fully baked. And it just sits there. And when I come back to it, I come back to it. When I have a thought, an idea, I come back to it. I'm on no timeline and no schedule, and nobody's making me do any of this stuff. So I just felt like it's fun to share some of this stuff with everybody. Not many people let you behind the scenes to see how they operate the machine that they do. I would love to see that in some of the bigger creators. And I'm not a big creator. I hope to at some point maybe be, but I don't want to get that big. I don't think that the algorithms will allow me to. I think that they stop you organically from growing at a certain level. I could be wrong, because I've got other friends who are creators that are certainly growing like gangbusters, and I don't think that they are being pushed by an algorithm. I think that they're writing things that are appealing to a wide audience. I just think that whatever it is that I'm saying isn't appealing to look at the percentage of people who vote independent in this country, or choose not to vote but are politically active. It's not really a very big group. I wish it were bigger. But I seem to have a hard time, or we seem to have a hard time. Either we're shadow banned, which we certainly have been across a lot of these platforms, drowned out by larger channels already, suppressed by algorithms because we don't play ball and we don't cover the hot topic of the hour. We try not to. We try to build more evergreen content that we're proud of a year from now, 2 years from now, that we look back and that we're not looking to get hot takes. We certainly have hot takes, but it's not just about being first. It's about trying to get it right. And I had a rant about that a week ago. So we're going to be back next year. Likely there won't be another one of these this month. On the 11th, I'm planning on next Thursday, we're going to do a Nobody Wants to Work Anymore, talking about work and labor stuff with Snow Himbo. On the 18th, we're going to be doing an American Tradition with Jesse Jett. And then we've got Christmas night and then New Year's night, New Year's Day night. And I don't think we're going to have live streams. If so, they will be there'll be clipped shows or pre-recorded shows that will run then. We're going to spend those nights with the fam. But I ask everyone to, again, subscribe to all the INN channels. One of the things that we also set up is IndieNews.network. That is just a link tree, a competitor link stack. But it's all the different links for where you can find all the channels for INN, including the Ocho, all the different podcasts, all the different articles, Substack, Spotify's. Actually, I need to update some of these. Some of these have changed. And Rockfin, we don't do anymore. No more Rockfin. Fuck Rockfin. That's something else that we had to deal with, was a platform kind of going belly up on us. And their tech didn't work. They didn't really want to fix it. Then they rug pulled everyone and shut down their crypto token. I mean, Rockfin was a mess. Sad what happened to Rockfin. And I had to write a bunch of articles about them because of the way that they were screwing us over. But here's where you can find INN on YouTube and Rumble and Twitter, etc. Real easy. IndieNews.network. I don't know if anybody's actually ever been there. I know Reef shares that article or that link all the time. So I'm gonna cut it out for tonight. But man, this was a lot of fun to just kind of, again, have an open conversation with everyone. There you go. Rulona, thanks for the Steve Seguin tip. Looks like Restream is fairly easy to reproduce for the DIYers. Absolutely. Again, and if you have any questions about doing that stuff, reach out. I'm happy to. Shabby JD status. I mean, I wish, look, that'd be great. Again, I don't want everybody beating down my door the same way, but it would be cool. VPS and WireGuard. Yeah, there you go. SRT. There is an SRT option for Restream, getting into more of the technological end. I don't really get into that level. I just, look, make it work and get me out of here. That's what I want to do. But yeah, we'll keep doing this. And I really appreciate everyone who shows up and wants to learn more about this stuff. Reach out to me on all the socials if you want to know more. And we will see you a month from now. Support independent media because we need it more than ever. I love you, fam. See you soon. Night, everyone.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you